Everyone is powerful. As students, have you ever succumbed to teachers' power? Have you ever used your power to change the class a little bit? What kind of power distribution is conducive to education? What role does educational technology play in the distribution? Hello everyone, we are the blue team. Blue is the color of the sky and sea, which symbolizes truth, wisdom, and intelligence. So please remember to vote for us. Vote for truth, wisdom, and intelligence. Before the debate begins, we'd like to analyze the arguments. Educational technology reinforces the distribution of social power. In 2008, Ritchie defined the term educational technology in his book as study and ethical practice of facilitating learning and improving performance by creating, using, and managing appropriate technological processes and resources. According to the Oxford Dictionary, the definition of distribution is a way in which something is shared out among a group or spread over an area. In 1967, Dow established the pluralist model in distribution of social power, which argues power is diffuse rather than concentrated. In everyday life, we often refer to social power, but what is social power? Shannon Lobby pointed out there are 7 types of power: coercive power, connection power, expert power, information power, legitimate power, reference power, and reward power. Therefore, we argue that educational technology helps society to distribute these 7 social powers from the minority to the majority and helps to strengthen the above distribution. In the book named The Fourth Education Revolution, Selden introduces 4 educational revolutions and provides more details on how educational technology affected society. The first revolution was mainly the birth of full-time teachers and had no direct relationship with technology. The second revolution was because of the appearance of texts that allow knowledge to be recorded and preserved. Text is a technology to promote education in the first stage. The third revolution is the advent of printing, which significantly reduces the cost of book production and dissemination, driving the education on a large scale. According to the first 3 education revolutions, knowledge goes from being held by a few to being accessible to many. From the knowledge can only be acquired from teachers to the students can gain them from books by themselves. That to say, connection power, expert power, and information power were distributed from minority to relative majority in the first 3 education revolutions. The fourth revolution is the information technology revolution, which brought a new medium. The teaching resources have been digitalized and easy to save and carry. The ability to spread is greatly enhanced due to impact on global education structure. The fourth revolution is caused by technology directly and is making radical changes in education. From a macro perspective, MOOCs have broken the conventional higher education service that people have taken for granted for nearly 1,000 years. This service model is based on the speciality and the campus as a place, only for a few elites. However, MOOCs allow all people to choose and enjoy high-quality higher education freely. The innovative nature of MOOCs lies in the realization of a high-quality core service model that crosses a wall, removes the national border and examination thresholds of high-quality higher education. Imagine that if a more mature system can support MOOCs, everyone can face all the top universities around the world, freely choose the high-quality courses suitable for them, and improve their ability at any time through flexible learning. Although it still needs a long time to achieve this goal, this educational technology reduces the gap between the elites and the mass education. Khan Academy is another example to show how educational technology enforces the distribution of social power. Salman Khan, a Harvard MBA student, started the Khan Academy in 2005. His original intention was to guide his family in his hometown through the internet. Now, Khan Academy has grown into a world-renowned educational non-profit organization, which has impacted over 80 million people. The unique value of Khan Academy lies in the creation of a grassroots educational practice mode that fundamentally subverts the qualification and identities of teachers in the traditional school system. Unlike MOOCs, it does not restrict the identity of course providers. All it requires is an email account to register at the Khan Academy without any barriers. Thus, everyone can be a knowledge producer. From micro perspective, we're going to talk about the power dynamic in the classroom, specifically the teachers and the students' relationship. In traditional teacher and students relationship, the teacher plays a role of controller and students compliant teacher. Teachers constantly make requests of their students by using social power. For example, social power is used frequently by instructors to ensure that students attend class, are not tardy, complete assignments, study the course material, behave appropriately, and let the go on. The attribution of compliance comes from two power bases, knowledgeable authority and information power. This is related to two types of social power, expert power and information power. A central claim of social cultural theory is that human action is mediated by cultural tools and is fundamentally transformed in the process. The emerging properties of technology promote new forms of classroom interaction, which highlights this tool-mediated aspect of learning. The emergence and advancement in technology has made the student-centered learning environment both possible and feasible by facilitating the management of electronic resources. Student-centered learning environments emphasize constructing personal meaning by relating new knowledge to existing conceptions and understandings. Technology promotes access to resources and tools that facilitate this kind of construction. The technology enhances the student-centered model, which further reshapes teachers' role and students' role in the classrooms. In a traditional teacher-centered class, students are typically the learners and teachers are typically the educators. The teachers are the information provider or classroom controller. The teacher is the one given the freedom to move about, to initiate actions and interactions, to ask questions and to set limits on activity times. The teacher is the one who gives the facts and defines the essential ideas, and the students are the listeners and followers. Students merely participate in listening to teacher's lecture, raising their hand to answer questions or working independently on some written assignments. However, with the aid of the technology, for example, computers, teacher-centered delivery is therefore shifted to a student-centered model. The student-centered classroom is one characterized by increased engagement, students' responsibility, respectful communication, and effective collaboration. Technology makes it possible for teachers to shift the flow of information in a classroom to create a student-centered classroom that requires students to take a more active role in their education rather than relying on the teacher as an unquestioned external authority. So it tends to shift the traditional authoritative power dynamics of the teacher, passing knowledge down to the students. Under these circumstances, students' role shifts from being taught to learning, and teachers' role changes as being guides, mentors, or facilitators rather than experts or lecturers. Teachers are no longer the only source of information and knowledge that students can rely on, and they share authority with their students, enabling the students to make instructional decisions that the teachers support and enact. Therefore, educational technology distributes expert power and is helpful to develop a more flexible and various class. The teacher is not the only expert. Students with equal ability or skill in some particular area have the chance to influence other students or even teachers. For example, within the online collaborative platform, peer learning happens more frequently in class. Meanwhile, information power also is being changed. The technology enhances student-centered learning environments, makes students more empowered to learn and assert ownership and take pride in their learning outcomes. In a student-centered class, Students do not depend on the teachers all the time, waiting for instructions, words of approval, correction, advice, or praise. Instead, they value each other's contributions. Digital technologies allow students to take charge of their learning through direct exploration, expression, and experience. Students are able to collaborate, to use critical thinking, and to find alternatives to solutions to problems. Students become more empowered when they can drive their learning, decide their own learning pace, and the outcome are much more meaningful. Technology also facilitates individualized learning. Individuals can uniquely define the purpose of technology's usage to support their unique interests and needs. It entails the design of experience that allows students to make choices about what and how they will learn. More interactive and complementary activities are available, which enable individual learners to address unique learning interests and needs, study multiple levels of complexity, and deepen understanding of the domain. This is bibliography that supports our argument. Thank you for your time. Any feedback is appreciated. We hope you will have a lucky day after voting for the blue team. Thank you.